I
Objections?
could, I could be the moderator. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is being recorded. This is the CNCF project and it does follow the CNCF Code of Conduct guidelines. If you do not like that, please false call now, watch recording later, and let's everyone be ladies and gentlemen and nice to each other on this call. My name is Robert. I will be your moderator. Karen, I believe, is taking notes, and we can get started. This is the developer meeting for Helm, January 2nd, 2025, first one of the year. Our first announcement, I guess I can say, is Helm is doing a 3.17.0 RC1 release coming on Monday. Matt and I will be sitting down doing that. That's one of the things I've asked to learn how to do, so it's not all going to be on Matt. So we'll be doing that release on Monday. Anyone else have any announcements? We can continue. We'll move into discussion. We have 3 items from Scott. Scott's not here, but I guess he put them on a list. There is first a PR followed by over 100 people. This is a doc on handling values. I'll put it in the chat and see if anybody has any comments to this. Scott's not here and I don't have any context to this, so I'm not sure if we should table this one or wait till he gets back.
So I can comment some. So me and Scott stuck this doc together around maybe May last year.
Mm-hmm.
This doc doesn't quite cover this issue, I don't think. This issue is that when you have subcharts, null values aren't propagated aren't removed from subchart values. As in Helm has logic that if you supply an input value, it removes that key from the values.
I can also provide some insights as well because I was intimately part of that too. Go ahead, George. Do you have anything else you want to add?
So yeah, I was going to start. So the desired behavior is if you have a dependent chart, and if you overwrite value in that dependent chart to be null, that key is removed from the values, and right now it's not being removed. I think this doc more covers how Helm should manage values between dependencies and different parts of inputs. But the logic is still there. Anything else to add, Andy?
Yeah, mainly that we spent a lot of time putting together an approach that we were hoping that would solve this challenge. And unfortunately, we had several edge cases that contributors in the community found and said, hey, what's going on? This capability is a little different than it hadn't been in the past. And we kind of ended up going and reverting some of the changes that we tried putting in. So we've been very cautious. We're hearing what the community wants. The community really wants a solution around this. We just need to be very cognizant that it's not an easy situation to resolve.
Okay.
Hey everyone, sorry I'm late.
Hi, Scott.
Robert, I liked your idea of tabling it also it's a long document that I'd like to read through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to disparage it's just, I think it's big. I didn't see it prior and I haven't got a chance to read through it and all the edge cases that might be in there. So I think if we could, Scott, for your first item, I think we just need a little more time to digest what the whole issue is and then some of the approaches so we can come back with ideas on approaches, if that's okay.
Yeah, what was the, was there any question about the whole issue?
For me personally, I think for Iggy, maybe for others, is we don't have enough context of it, and so we're bringing up to kind of review on something. And if there's a pending PR to it, I just want to make sure I'm up to speed before I make a comment or
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and I can help with context and sorry it took me a few minutes to get on. I had a connection issue, and please let me know if my signal is weak or if I need to repeat something.
No.
Yeah, the context in short is that this is actually a feature that I originally wrote like years ago because there is a really obvious use case of needing to remove keys through Helm. The one that's in our documentation is a really good example. There are some keys in Kubernetes objects that don't play well together. And so if you want to make a change to a manifest that Helm renders, you know, and add a different, say, class, well, that won't really play well with a key that you just leave the value blank. You have to actually remove the key itself for Kubernetes to say, okay, this is legitimate. And that's really all that it is. It's so basically at that time, this was, I think 2018 or 2018, 2017, 2018 or something like this. Basically, like the idea was, okay, everyone agreed that like null values weren't something that we supported generally. So we decided to use a null value as a stand-in for saying we want to remove the key. Since then, we've discussed, hey, maybe we should actually make that more explicit by having like a set command, and then in the values file having like an unset, you know, array or something like this for a declarative version of that. But in any case, the way Helm works now and the way our tests and everything work, and the way we document what we say we do is we remove a key if you set its value to null or nil or a tilde or anything that YAML recognizes as null. Yeah, and that's basically it. The problem with this is that someone found a while back found a case where child chart values wasn't working for child charts, and that was fixed. But then there's this weird issue with the logic where if you have if you then set that value to null if you have a parent chart that sets the value to null for the child chart, but then you also set that value to null in your values file or with the -- set command, it would somehow just cancel that out in the current logic and remove the behavior of removing the key. So it's just it's a bug. And that's really it. I hope that makes a little bit of sense now.
The use case that I see from like a Red Hat perspective is that many charts render a run as user or an FS group, and OpenShift, Red Hat's Kubernetes distribution, does not like those properties. It tries to employ its own, and we want to be able to remove them if possible. And that's really where the nulling out is a good use case.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so that use case it's something that's been in Helm as a documented and functioning feature for years. It's just that there's a bug, a specific bug.
So the complexity on the implementation side is that it's only when you set a null value that you remove the key. If the chart provides a null value in the default values, then you don't remove the key.
That's right.
So it's not quite as simple as just doing a pass-through of the values at the end and removing nulls. You actually have to track what has propagated a null value down to a child chart's dependent values, and then remove the key at that point once all the and the way the implementation is written is this is kind of complicated to fix. And then maybe what Scott or Annie was going to say is that every time it's been attempted, it's broken other things, and it's it hasn't quite successfully been fixed.
Yeah, and that's because our tests we didn't have a test for it. So any, you know what happens with software, right? Bugs emerge. So that's why in the PR I added a patch for a test.
Scott, do you have the link to that PR just for we can put it into the notes for additional context, if that's okay?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, Karen added the link.
Oh, did she? Okay. Next step, patch milestone for Scott. You have patch milestone for V 3.16.5. I get a 404 page not found when I looked at that. Is that the right link or?
It is. I didn't update my comment. Basically, it was my mistake. I should have not created that because in the third week, the third basically I created the patch milestone according to our schedule, but forgot that that we had already set for January for the next minor release to be that same date, because as Matt said, or Matt Farina said, we would have had to create the RC for the next minor version over the holidays, and nobody wants to do that. So it became the same date as what the patch would have been. So that's I fixed the issues where I moved them to the patch release, like the bug fixes, and clarified in the comments why it was moved to a minor milestone.
Okay.
In their bug fixes. Yeah. So I deleted that milestone, and that's it.
Sounds good. And the last one on for discussion would be, Scott, you applied for Password 1 open source license again.
Yep.
I see the issue's been closed.
Yeah, just per the next. Oh, has it? I didn't update. I didn't check. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's been closed, so I think it's been approved according to the Password 1 bot.
Great. I'll add all the maintainers.
Awesome. Thank you. That is all that's listed in our discussions. Anyone else have a discussion that they like to bring up? All right, awesome. We have anything for HIP review? There's nothing listed. Does anyone have a HIP that they would like to discuss last minute?
I was going to add, I made a HIP for Helm updating CRDs over the lifetime of a chart release. I'm just trying to find the doc in my sea of tabs to add it to. And I also updated my server-side apply HIP to be targeting Helm 4. When I originally wrote that, it was still Helm 3 times, so I found it.
Yep. All right. Up. Would you like to discuss this one, George?
So yeah, this has been around for a while. Server-side apply is the backend. Well, it's merging objects when you're updating them on community side, which has some advantages. Implementation for Helm wouldn't be very complicated. There are some nice features of server-side apply which could be taken advantage of in the future, but the way I've written the HIP was just to do a like-for-like comparison with a like-for-like substitution from client-side to server-side apply.
Yep.
I'm just gonna find my other one. So yeah. And my other HIP, I just had it to the note, sorry. Actually, I broke my leg skiing on Monday, so that's why I'm in bed and I'm a little drowsy.
He showed up, my goodness.
Jesus.
Yeah. So anyway, forgive me. I want to keep busy, otherwise I just sit in bed all day. CRD updating. So as we know in Helm only installs CRDs on a chart installation and doesn't really touch them after that. So this is to try and allow Helm to update CRDs with new versions, details on the HIP. I think both of these would, I mean, I don't know how many people really care so much about server-side apply, but they certainly enjoy the benefits and also the client-side apply method. So I think Helm switching to server-side apply would be super useful, and I think the community certainly would like, people who do really want to update CRDs. So the deal is in the details of how to do that without breaking things. So yeah, if anybody has any feedback on those, that'd be awesome.
I will take a look up with Scott's document as well. Next, Scott's typing fast as hell. Scott, you're working on proof of concept for expanded plugin system for Helm 4. Is there a HIP related to that one in there, or
it's in progress? And that's all. It's just a note.
Okay.
That this discussion's been going on, so it's not like a big news or anything. But that's just keep an eye out for that. And if anyone, we have in the Helm dev notes for past meetings where some of the Google Docs for that work in progress are. So if anybody, I know there's been a few folks who've said, hey, I want to connect on that. Andy is one of them. So I'm just noting for transparency. That's still in progress.
Okay. All right. No one else has a HIP review. We'll move to shout outs. Social media amplification. Anyone have anything?
Maybe not the most fully formed agenda item, but do we want to try and detail what the Helm 3 end of life and Helm 4 feature? There's a discussion in the maintenance channel.
Yes, please.
How do we want to take that on, I guess?
Well, Matt Farina said he was working on a blog post.
Okay.
Andy said that he'd review it. I know a few of us are going to. I have some things I'd like to add to that too. So I guess maybe we'll just keep chatting about it in the maintainers channel until we get, I don't know how we want to note that to folks. I think in general, it's probably good to like just say, since people are here and they might not have been here for past meetings, some of the past meetings that, or whether they're you're listening to the recording or here in person, that we have a HIP for this that details the process. We just don't have dates on that yet.
Okay. Karen's typing that out. We'll move to assignments for next call. Do we have anybody signed up for moderator? Not, I'll do it.
At it. And I think you kind of like it.
I wouldn't go that far. I just do it for a living.
I was gonna say I'm happy to do the moderation for next time. I'll make sure to get I'll be back in my co-working setup then.
For PR review and issue triage, I will me personally, I will be doing that both. So you can put my name down for both. That do we have anybody else for PR reviews and issue triage?
You can put me down for PR review.
Yeah.
Awesome. And core maintainers who can be present.
I can.
Yeah.
I think Scott is moderating, so.
Yep. Well, I'll be here. I don't have a personal life.
I may be here. I can't guarantee though. Next week.
Okay. Well, with all that being said, if anyone doesn't have anything else, we can adjourn a few minutes early, give everyone a few minutes back in their day.
I have something rather quick.
Sure.
Regarding the Kubernetes Slack, is anybody here? Well, how do I add, or how do new people get added to that? Is the first question.
It's open,
Is
so
that-
they can add themselves if they want to.
Yep.
Okay, great. And then how are new, what do they call them, rooms or channels? And how are new rooms or channels, whatever they call them in Slack, created?
I don't know if we can create a new channel there. I don't know who owns it in there because I just.
You have to go through like the Slack moderators. I think it's not as open as like the CNCF Slack is, where you can create your own.
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody here is on that, is an admin, right?
No, but we know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everybody can reach
Are
out.
you looking for something specific? There are two.
No,
two specific
possibly
ones
in the
already.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just go through a moderator. That's fine. Just checking. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, and then if you want to join like the existing ones, if you're not already in there, there's like the Helm Dev and Helm Users channel.
Yeah, there's even a chart channel too.
Okay. I was thinking to add Sean, who I invited to this call, to the Kubernetes Slack, but it sounds like he can invite himself, or
Yep.
I can. Yeah. Okay. Right. That's all.
Awesome. All right. Well, welcome back to the new year, everybody. And with that being said, we'll adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, everyone.